You see women's spears, for sure.
Excuse me. Did you see There's free water upstairs.
I hear Adriana's walking.
I brought some tissues in case it was emotional.
I hear Adriana's walking. Good evening, I am Juanqui and welcome to my world. The levels. I see the levels. How's everybody doing? We are almost there. It is Friday Eve. Thank God. Thank you, Jesus. Okay. All right. I'm going to get right to it, ladies and gentlemen, because as you hear my voice, I am so tired. I am ready to call it a night. So, this one I gave this one my own title. Okay, what did I call it? Hold on a second. What did I call this one? I called this one Confession, One of the Girls Inside. And it's going to make more sense now when I tell you. This person is confessing. And she says, I have been taking estrogen for the last 4 years without telling anyone. I started taking it because I used to have bad acne breakouts. It immediately cleared it, but honestly, I fell in love with how it changed me as a person too. I started becoming more feminine. True. But it also changed my perspective on a lot of things, which I think ultimately gave me a lot of mental peace and self-love. My friends did tell me a couple of times that I looked a bit different, but honestly, they never doubted anything. I look a lot more like what I want to look like. I do wish to get off it eventually, but so far it has been an absolute blessing in my life. Okay, now let's read some of what the people are saying. This person just felt like getting off their chest that they've been taking women estrogen, and I emphasize women estrogen, as if estrogen was male. Because, ladies and gentlemen, this is a confession by a man. Somebody says, you are entitled to privacy when it comes to your health. You don't owe anyone an explanation or justification. I would suggest telling your primary care doctor that you are taking it only because there are some risks associated with long-term use, such as cancers, bone density loss, DVT, and blood clots. And they may have suggestions on self-exams monitoring you can do, or may suggest being screened earlier or more frequently for certain conditions. You would also want to disclose to your doctor if you are taking other prescription medications, as they may be interactions or a different medication that would be safer to take in conjunction with your estrogen. Somebody says, are you a girl or a guy? And he comes back and says, a guy, of course. Should have mentioned it in my earlier post. My bad. Ladies and gentlemen, I don't know what kind of where we have taken a stroll down, because this is somebody else says, I would like if you like yourself better on it. I don't see any problem with that. I'm happy you found joy. This is insane. This is a man who is, and by the way, I saw in some of the other postings that because he's not getting this estrogen from his doctor. No. He is getting this from the red market. He even mentioned going to Mexico to get them. So whenever he don't take his trips or whatever, he gets it from the red market. Okay, from the red market. Now, I want to take a quick moment and I want to ask the AI, what happens to a man if they take estrogen? Let's see. Let's go on the AI. I'm going to read to you what the AI says. What happens to a man if he takes estrogen? Taking estrogen as a man, whether through medical therapy or due to an underlying health condition, triggers significant physical, emotional, and reproductive changes. These changes occur because estrogen suppresses the body's production of testosterone and induces the development of secondary female sex characteristics, while some effects like skin softening, are reversible. Others, like breast growth, are typically permanent. Now, the original poster talked about ever since being on estrogen, he's soft and pink inside. He feels better about himself and sees the glass half full and not half empty. So let's see what the physical and emotional changes. What's the matter, Pedro? Are you going through some psychological changes in your life? The timeline for these changes varies, but initial effects often appear within the first few months. Breast development. Small, sometimes tender buds develop under the nipples within 3 to 6 months. This typically results in an A or small B cup size over 2 to 5 years. It's a permanent change, so that cannot be reversed. So the breast sizes will not be reversed. Skin and hair. Skin becomes softer, thinner, and less oily as pores shrink. Body and facial hair growth slows down and becomes finer through facial hair, though facial hair usually does not disappear entirely without further treatment. You got to get that electrolysis, okay? That electrolysis up in them follicles. Then it says fat and muscle. Body fat distributes to the hips, thighs, and buttocks. Conversely, muscle mass and physical strength decreases. Okay? He gonna be giving hip, left, right. Mood and cognition. Mood and cognition. Many report an expanded emotional range of improved mental well-being if taking estrogen as part of gender-affirming care. However, it can also cause mood swings, fatigue, or difficulty concentrating, or brain fog. Brain fog. Brain fog. Now let's get under the sheets. Sexual and reproductive effects. Hormonal shifts directly impact the male reproductive system, sexual functions. A decrease in sex drive, libido, and a reduction in the frequency and firmness of erections are common within the first to 3 months. So it's just going to hang there. Genitalia changes. Testicles often shrink like prunes. I added the prune part. Genital changes. Testicles often shrink significantly, sometimes to less than half their original size. You testicles, you are caught up in some fertility. Estrogen impairs sperm production, which can lead to infertility. While this is often reversible, if the hormone is stopped, long-term use can make permanent infertility more likely. Health risks and considerations. Taking estrogen can increase the risk of several serious medical conditions, such as blood clots. There is a heightened risk of deep vein thrombosis, DVT, which can lead to life-threatening complications like pulmonary embolism, strokes, and heart attacks. Metabolic issues. Risks include weight gain, high blood pressure, and an increased likelihood of developing type 2 diabetes. Cancer. While rare, estrogen can slightly increase the risk of male breast cancer because it stimulates the growth of breast tissue. And then there's a whole bunch of other stuff that's scary. Yeah. Now, this is my wonky thought, my wonky view on this posting. I've always said it, when you start getting into playing with people's genealogy, genes, hormones, psychotropic drugs, when you start taking drugs or aids to alter the chemistry of your brain, the composition of the fluids inside your body, to me, that definitely affects your emotional well-being and your brain being. I just made up that sentence. But I've always said that there's a risk of you not thinking clearly. You know what I'm saying? And then you're evaluating and walking through life through the lenses of fog and things that are not that are not natural in you. Like they're like pharmaceuticals and things like that, just like taking, drugs and things like that, like recreational drugs. So I'm not a fan of the estrogen therapy. I'm not a fan of the testosterone therapy for those men who go into andropause. I'm just not a fan of those things. If there's a way that you can supplement them through fruits and vegetables and eating and all that, like natural stuff, I'm all for that. But for you to be jabbing yourself with some estrogen or some testosterone, it's just too much for me. I don't wish that on anybody. And it's just a lot. It's a lot. And the statement, if they like it, if they love it, if they like it, I love it. Not for me. I really, if this particular poster is taking the estrogen because he really does wants to feel female, like, he wants to feel his soft pink cunt inside, then just say that you want to be soft pink and cunt inside. And, on June, last Sunday in June, get to your urban setting and be in the gay parade and the whole night. Just live your truth. But this whole thing about, I'm doing it in secrecy because, it's just helping me be a little bit. No, there's some other issues that you're not facing and not wanting to deal with. And my wish for you, poster, is that eventually you're able to, sooner rather than later, all right? Because it ain't cute having a 60-something-year-old man coming into terms with their sexuality and finally, thank you everybody for being here. I want everybody to know that from now on I should be known, and you're just changing your sex at fucking senior citizen age. Ain't nothing cute about that. Ain't nothing it's. Anyway, with that said, I want to thank everybody who came through and listened to this hot mess. I do this every night. So make sure you come through tomorrow. I might come through a little bit earlier tomorrow. It is Good Friday, and I do observe. But I will be coming through to. I've been going live since December 1st, 2025, daily. I should clear that up. I've been going live daily since December 1st, 2025. And so you and I have another date tomorrow afternoon tomorrow night. So make sure you hit that like, that notification, hit that follow, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Have a blessed evening. Have a good night. Peace.